Welcome. I'm Crystal. I am with the very wonderful Forever in Motion team, and I am happy to um, present to you today an exercise class called Active Arms. So I think this will be about a 45-minute class, and our goal will be to strengthen our arms. And why would we want to work on arm strengthening? Um, to strengthen our muscles, but also I was kind of thinking today about bone density. And if we take a stumble or a fall, we of course probably put out an arm to catch ourselves. And to avoid breaking a bone, good bone density is important. And we can increase or work on our bone density by arm strengthening. Also, working our upper body is good for posture. And it's pretty important to have good posture for our balance and for our, it's the natural way for our muscles and body to work. Hi, good morning. I'm getting a few viewers. Welcome, everybody. Also, it's really good for our mental and emotional health to do some strength training. So, a few reasons why I hope you stay tuned and continue to watch. We're going to begin with cardio, 5 cardio exercises. Then we'll come back and repeat those 5 cardio exercises. Then some strength training. And I'm thinking about bands and weights. You know what? I have really clunky big weights. So I didn't bring weights. I brought soup cans today. And then the other things that are important to have would be water. We want to make sure we stay hydrated, and a chair, because we'll do some things in seated, and also it's just a great option. If you feel tired at any time, we can always switch to seated. So pause the video if you wish, grab your band, some dumbbells. You don't have to use dumbbells, that's okay. Or soup cans, anything goes. A water bottle and a chair. Let's get started. We'll begin with step touch. Let's tap into that good posture. Think about a zipper from the bottom of your pubic bone up to your belly button, pulling those muscles up and in, and thinking about your chest, lifting your heart up, and we're going to get those arms going. Gentle shoulder roll to begin. And then making it a bigger circle. And bigger yet. And I'm going to reach my hands all the way back. And we're going back because a lot of things bring our posture forward in life. Is my volume okay? Oh, yeah, okay. I just see a few comments. Okay, so I'm reaching up. I'm careful of my chandelier. Oh my gosh, that would be a disaster. We're step touching side to side, opening up our shoulders, and then start to reduce the size of that circle until we find ourselves back to that shoulder roll. Great. Pause at midline. Then we'll tap, same lateral movement, same alignment with the body, belly button in, shoulders back. Once you're ready, add in the arms. It's kind of good to go opposite from the legs, but honestly, whatever's natural to you. I'm not keeping score, so you make sure you're going at a pace that's comfortable for you. Modifications, you could be sitting and wait a second. Sitting and tapping, still going opposite arm, opposite leg. So chair would be level 1. Mid-rise with those arms would be level 2. And level 3 would be getting those arms parallel to the floor. Warming up your body, choosing a pace that's comfortable for you. Our third cardio move, that chair out of the way, is a march, which can be done seated as well. Find that good posture throughout the torso. And then we'll add in some arms. Breaststroke. Think about big range, but a slow and controlled pace. So maybe you can bring those hands up a little higher. Keep within your comfort. I think of that saying sometimes, no pain, no gain. Who said that? That is not true. You can make gains without pain. In fact, you should make gains without having any pain. Then we'll switch to bringing the knees up a little higher. Slow and controlled as we warm our bodies up. Invite those hands to tap opposite hand to opposite thigh. How's your posture? Our final cardio move. Are you ready? So we've done side to side. We've lifted those thighs up. And now we're going to tap back. Once you've found that natural rhythm, add some arms. A low row would be level 1. A high row would be level 2. You know, I heard a really interesting quote the other day. An exercise leader said, honor your past. And what she was referring to was thinking about maybe past injuries or past activities that you used to do, and think about how that impacts you now. Is there something that you have done to have hurt your hip or your shoulder or have repetitive strain upon? If you have, then honor that and don't irritate that part of the body. Just respect that maybe that's not an area you want to work today. Honor your past. All right, we're going to take it from the top. What did we do? Yes, step touch, right? Are you getting warmer? I think I am. Toss this aside. Let's add the shoulder rolls. Some nice deep breaths as we give some stretches to the upper body. Bring some movement to the legs. Increase that shoulder range as you feel comfortable. Check your surroundings. Make sure you're not going to hit the chandelier. Begin to decrease the size of those circles until you arrive back at that basic shoulder roll. Rolling back. We do lots of rolling forward, so I'm not too worried about tackling that today. Pause at midline. Find nice tall posture and invite one leg at a time to tap. Add the arms. Choose a pace that's comfortable for you. Feel welcome to take a seat and work through these exercises in seated. What was next, you guys? March? I think so. This is a much more comfortable plane to work in, isn't it? Let's add breaststroke arms. Good morning, arms. Pair some deep breathing with this, maybe. Nice deep breath in as you open the chest. Lovely. Invite the knees to come a little higher and invite the hands to tap. Now this is round 2, so maybe you're kind of like, Crystal, I feel like I can take it up a notch. Well, go right ahead. You could tap hand under thigh. This would be like our more difficult level. And this would be a little bit gentler. And then our 5th and final cardio move, tapping back. Find that comfort with your feet tapping back. It's an unusual, I don't know, it's just not as comfortable, right? We can't see where our feet are. But once you find comfort, invite the arms to row, low row or high row. You choose. Focus on all the muscles on your back. You could maybe be feeling muscles between the shoulder blades working. Maybe you can feel the glutes working as we tap back. This is full back involvement here. And we'll be done in 3, 2, and 1. Great. A little cardio cool down because that was quite a bit of movement. So let's just march narrow and wide and alternate between that. 3, 2, and 1. Great. Have a sip of water if it's available. We're going to use the chair for the next series of exercises. So take a moment to position your chair, grab your band. No, you know what we should do is squats. Let's get those legs out of the way. Oops. Okay, I'll turn my chair a little bit like that. All right, so squats. We want to start with a good foundation. Can you see my feet? Not really, hey? We want to make sure that our feet are about hip distance apart. I like the chair behind us because if you go too far into the squat, you are safe and supported. Level 1 for a squat, reach back for the chair with your hands and then slowly rise up. We want to move slow and controlled, pushing the weight into our glutes, keeping our gaze out front. But every now and then, do take a peek down and make sure that your knees aren't going over your toes. If your knees are too far forward, that's a lot of stress on those tendons and ligaments. We want the weight to be in our heels and our bum. So this would be a little bit more advanced if you bring your hands out front. Again, level 1, reaching for the back, reaching for the chair, the front of the chair. Level 2, hands out front. What do you think, guys? 2 more? Oh, now you have to do 1 more. And we sit down. Very good. Okay, now we'll grab our bands. I'm sure most of you are aware, but different colors represent different resistance tensions in the band. So yellow will be less resistance, black will be more resistance. If you ever needed new bands, make sure to just reach out to the Forever in Motion team. We sell them at the Market Mall office for $5 for a band. And they do need to be replaced every now and then. They kind of get brittle. Anyways, we're going to do a row, sitting on the front part of our chair. I've got my heels on the floor. I don't know that you can see them. I'll try. Heels on the floor, knees slightly bent. Let's check in with our torso. Nice tall posture. Pull belly button in towards your spine. Tuck in that chin a little bit too, right? Bringing ears over shoulders, making sure our shoulders aren't hunched, aren't carrying any tension, and row back, thinking about bringing hands along the thighs. And let's make sure we're drawing in some nice deep breaths with this. We exhale on the exertion, E to E. With bands especially, but all strength training, slow and controlled. I'm going to do 10, I think, for most of these strength exercises. That is just sort of an in-between number. If you want to do less, that's great. And if you'd like to do more, that's great. I'm going to do one more. Nice. We'll do a chest squeeze next. This can be done in sitting or standing. I might come closer to you. So holding the band, palm down, knuckle out front. Then I'm going to cross one hand over top. And there's not too much distance between those hands. Now, I'm going to pull my hands apart and think about muscles on the front of my upper body. Can you feel, I don't know if the names mean are of interest to you, but deltoids and pecs, all these beautiful chest muscles working. Again, exhale on exertion. 4, 5. Now I'm going to stop. Pay attention. What hand is on top here? Okay, release. And we're going to go around and grab that band. The top hand will now be the bottom hand. Do you have it? Posture's ready? Here we go. 5 more. 2. My elbows parallel to the floor. Belly button tucked in. 4 and 5. Awesome. Good job. Keeping with this same body posture, knuckles forward and palms down. We're going to pull that band apart, and now we're working the opposite muscle group onto our backs again. So pull and slowly release, making sure we're pairing our breathing with our movement. Exhale, pull. 3, 4. It's not a big movement, is it? And yet I feel it. As a little disclaimer here, though, this green band is I don't know, manufactured by a different company. It is a hard green band, so just insecure. Feel the need to express that to you. 8, 9, 10. Careful with the wrists. I know I have kind of floppy wrists, so make sure that they stay neutral there. I'm thinking about deltoids next, or medial delts, so shoulder muscles. You can grab your weights if you want, if you have free weights, or you can step on your band. You can see my feet. And find tall posture. Think about that zipper up from the pubic bone up to the belly button. Think about shoulders back and have some tension on that band. I'm going to wiggle my fingers down and increase my tension. And we're going to do a shoulder shrug. Inhale up, exhale down. This can be done in seated as well if you wish. I would love to know. I hope your arms are doing okay. We are over halfway through with our strengthening portion, in case you want to know where we're at. I think this is 10. Good. Elbows were straight there, right? Of course they were. Have a drink of water. We've been working pretty hard. I'm going to use my band for one more exercise here. That's our triceps. I'm going to place the band in one hand and toss it over opposite shoulder. And so I just had someone ask the other day, why opposite shoulder? But when you're doing the same, it just kind of puts the elbow at a lot of flexion and sometimes takes the wrist out of a neutral position. So this is just a little bit more to keep in comfort. And you take free hand, the same shoulder, same hand on the bottom, and pull that band down. Our muscle focus right now is on the triceps, back of the arm. Exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale. And inhale, release. How are you doing? Do you want to take a seat with us? Totally fine. I want nothing more than you to be comfortable and enjoying these exercises. I've got 2 more, I think. Great. Once you've finished the number that feels right for you, band in the other hand. Place half of it over your shoulder. Make sure you take time to get aligned. That's so very important. And once your wrist is neutral, your posture is tall, invite that bottom hand to grip fairly close. And oh, no, that's ridiculous. I can't pull that. Let's give myself a little more slack. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. Did you make it? Good for us. Okay, So the rule of thumb always is if we work one muscle group, we have to work the opposite. So what's next? Biceps. We can do this. Let's switch to the old soup cans, actually. You can use your band for biceps. You can use free weights for biceps. I think I'm going to stand. I feel like maybe I do a better demonstration in standing. Again, whatever is comfortable for you, just as long as we are focused on some good body mechanics. So sitting or standing, belly button in, chest is proud, lifting your soup cans. I'm not sponsored by any particular food company, by the way. And we're bringing our free weights up to our shoulders. If you're using bands, you're probably not going to get quite as much range. That's okay. Wrists are neutral. We're moving slow and controlled. How do you know what weight is right for you? I'll tell you, the soup cans are maybe a touch light for me, but they work for demonstration purposes. So you want to be able to do somewhere between 8 to 12 reps. And then your muscles should start to feel tired after that. And if they aren't, then you probably need to increase your weight. I'm sure we're at 10. Hang on to free weights or soup cans. We've got 2 more arm strengthening exercises. Okay, lateral raise and front raise. Let's begin with front. Finding tall posture or seated, whatever. We've got our core muscles engaged. Palms are facing the body as though the thumbs are up. And we're going to lift to 90 degrees and slowly lower. This is so important to move slow and controlled. Pay attention to all that's going on in the body with this. Do you feel the front of the shoulders working? Can you even feel the core engage as we lift with control? This is 5, I think. Then I'm going to switch to lateral raise. So I'm going to do palms facing the camera. It just helps with my shoulder capsule. Exhaling on the way up. Only lifting till we get the arms parallel to the floor. I see a couple messages, but my eyes aren't good enough. I can't actually read them when I'm doing this. Sorry, guys. Hopefully all is well. 5 more of the front raise. And we're on the home stretch, guys. 5 more out to the side. Wow, we did it. Oh, mentally pat yourself on the back. That was a lot of arm strengthening exercises. I hope it was enjoyable, but we're not done yet. A drink of water if you wish, and some balance activities next. So if you were seated, come on up into standing. And we'll do a reach. I just find this is so lovely and functional. We want to find a good foundation first of all. So feet are underneath our hips, our body is aligned, and we're going to take one toe back just to kickstand ever so slightly. We're doing a forward reach. That knee the leg that you're standing on, the knee should be soft, right? Not locking it back, but soft and engaged. Okay, so whichever foot you have back, opposite arm is going to reach forward. Stay here for about 3 nice deep breaths. And if it's available to you, maybe invite those toes to lift up off the floor a little bit. Toes down, arm comes back. Oh, I like the balance exercises. Repeating on the other side. So kickstand those 1 foot back. Your chair is here for support, right? Don't do anything that feels uncomfortable, of course. So opposite hand, opposite leg, soften the knee, stretch and reach and invite the toes to lift if that's available. You can be hanging on to the chair. That is great too. Really nice. We'll stretch laterally next. So take a moment, find tall posture, then kickstand, toes out to one side. The supporting leg, knee is soft. Reach your hand. Can you see? Reach your hand to make a star. And maybe this is enough. Maybe as you reach, you feel like that's enough of challenging your balance. But if it's available, lift those toes up off the floor for a moment or two. Have that chair handy, always wanting you to feel safe. And slowly release. Repeating on the other side, kickstand toes out. Reach opposite hand out. Start to engage core as you reach. Soften that standing knee. Maybe toes can come up on this side, maybe not. Oh, whatever we're doing, I hope you felt like that was a bit of a balance challenge. Good work. So our final 10 minutes, we will just simply stretch our muscles. Sometimes people like to duck out at stretches, but I am a huge proponent of stretching. I think it is so very important. So please stay with me. Don't go. We're going to begin with our ankles and what kind of work they do. We should really take time to appreciate our ankles. I'm going to point and flex. I'm not sitting with my back against the chair. That's just sort of a good thing to maybe just keep working your core while you're stretching at the ankles. Switch to the other leg, point and flex. Think of 2 things that you like about spring. That is the season that's upon us right now. You got it? Now take the first item and write it in the air with your ankle. Leg isn't moving so much, it's just your ankle. You're going to write, I'm writing flowers. Can you see? No, you can't because it's messy. It's ridiculous. But it got my ankle moving. And we'll do the other word with the other leg. Flowers, what else? Rain. I think I'm going to have to write it twice because I have to even it out from the other word. So you're writing with your toes. Ankle is getting all kinds of motion as you make those letters. Great. Make sure you're sitting on the edge of your chair and we'll enter into a hamstring stretch. So 1 foot goes forward. Can you see my foot? My table's in the way. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, sitting on the edge of the chair, finding your heart lifted and keeping your heart lifted while you hinge forward at the hips. Hands are running down the thigh. Maybe you can go to the shin. Enter into this stretch slowly and thoughtfully. There is no race as we stretch. Take some nice deep breaths and bring it into wherever your body needs it most. Where do you feel this? Nice. So rule of thumb, 3 deep breaths for each stretch. Once you finish that, extend the other leg out. Find your heart lifted and proud. Exhale and hinge at the hips. Maybe you can go a little bit further on one side than the other. Time to explore and appreciate. Oh, I like that one. Okay, hip opener next. So sitting with one cheek on the side of the chair, one foot flat on the floor, back leg is going to drop knee down towards the ground. So I am hanging on to the back of my chair with one hand because I feel like it is a little bit of a tippy situation. Don't feel unsafe. Anchor yourself as need be. Find tall posture. Stay here and breathe deep, or we can enter into some arm stretches too. We can sweep one arm up and breathe in and exhale it down. Good. Let's repeat on the other side, coming out of that slowly and carefully, moving the other cheek to the front of the chair. Foot is flat on the floor, knee comes down, hanging on to the back of the chair. I think of Board and Exercise Group. I don't know if those gals ever watch, but they gave this exercise a very funny name. Breathe in, reach up, and exhale down. You know, it's interesting. Everybody kind of finds their own names for exercises, and it's so much fun to go out to the sites and visit and see what how people make these exercises their own. It's really so special. Okay, of course we need to do some beautiful arm stretches. Let's begin with hands at our center. On an inhale, open up, pause for a breath or two. And whenever you're ready, hands to the center and back to the heart. 2 more. Inhale, open. A few deep breaths here. Bringing the hands to the center and back to the heart. Last one of this. Center and heart. Good. Stretching the back of our upper body next. We'll bring one hand across the body and then give it some support. Hold on. And maybe as you feel the back of the upper body open up, we could also do some wrist circles if that's comfortable for you. Breathe deep and go the other way. Did you know May is Arthritis Month? Arthritis Awareness Month. I read that. And I read 60 million people in North America have arthritis. Let's go to the other side. Position your arm, then support your arm, then invite the wrist to move if that feels good. Maybe stillness is better for you. So that is a quarter of the adult population. 1 in 4 people have arthritis. I do have a very dear cousin who has arthritis, and it is not easy. And I think of people with arthritis when we stretch. Let's bring our hands back to our heart and do a little bit of wrist mobility. Because when joints are swollen, there is already some stretch and tension on those tendons and ligaments, right? So, of course, we have to stretch. We all have to stretch within our comfort and listen to our bodies, but particularly more so if you have arthritis in a joint, because that joint might already be on a stretch. So important to listen to the body. Finger exercises. Let's do a few. Fingertips stay joined, but palms go apart. Great. Join thumb and pinky. Join thumb and pointer. Uh, how do I explain this? Do you know this? You maybe already know this. It's a brain exercise and it's a good one. Go through each finger until you end up with opposite on each hand. So now I've got thumb and pointer and thumb and pinky. Does that make sense? Can you go the opposite direction, connecting your thumb to your fingers on each hand? Is that a better explanation? Roll through, focus. I've done this oftentimes in my exercise group, so it looks easy for me, but it wasn't when I began, and I hope it gives you some fun challenge. We are moving all the way up our bodies. We've got our neck to stretch, and then we are almost done. Thank you again for staying with me. So gently taking ear towards shoulder, and then the opposite hand as though it's reaching down to the floor, feeling a gentle stretch from shoulder along the neck up to the ear. Some nice deep breaths. And then come back to center. Let that vestibular system reset. Don't feel dizzy. And then repeat on the other side. Ear to shoulder. Maybe reach the hand down towards the ground, increasing that stretch. Enjoy some nice, beautiful, deep breaths. Great. To the center. Allow the body to reset. Hands to the heart, 3 deep breaths, and we are almost done our 45-minute class. Breathe in, reach up, exhale to the heart. 2. And last one. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me for Active Arms. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be doing a couple more in May here, so we'll maybe see you again. Take care.